Okay, today's video we're going to talk about discounting strategies that you can use to make the profits you're making from any ad campaigns you're running right now even higher, or make the ROI on the campaigns that you're running right now even higher. This will also increase the ROI of any other marketing activities, by the way, you're using to drive traffic at your website. And if you're wondering if it's even worth it to discount your products or services, the answer to that is absolutely. And even for you guys that have tight margins, it's still worth it because you can easily mark up your price and then offer a discount, which kind of crosses some moral and ethical barriers for some people. But it is what it is, in that the fact that we as human beings are psychologically triggered when we're offered something that we don't think that we deserve, i.e. a discount gets people motivated, where a product or service on its own doesn't tickle that part of our human psychology. And when you don't have that as a part of your overall sales and marketing strategy, you're just simply not going to make as much money. I'm going to explain how basically everybody can use a discounting strategy to make your ad traffic, or whatever traffic you have going to your site, make you more money, how much more money, and specifically how to individually do this for your business type specifically. So you have everything you need to take a discounting strategy, apply it to your business, and start making more money by the end of the video. So that said, I'll get into the content. So first of all, like I mentioned at the very start of this video, you can often make more money just simply marking up your products or services to be able to then discounting your products or services after that with other mentioning of the discount on your marketing material or advertising that you're doing if you have low margins. So if you have high margins, basically you probably don't need to adjust your pricing. You can offer a discount, and the discount itself will raise your sales enough, double, triple, literally speaking, for what you have right now for the same amount of traffic you have coming to your site, which justifies a lower margin that offering a discount would cause. Whereas if you have tight margins, you simply raise your product price or service, and then you offer the discount because you're going to end up with more profit, i.e. your sales are going to go up a considerable amount when you add a discount as a part of your overall sales and marketing funnel, then not being able to raise your price and then not being able to offer a discount to the people that you're already marketing to. So in that, a sale, just to sum this up as well and to clarify this point, a sale or a discount should not be used to get people who wouldn't have normally been interested in your product or service to become interested in it. That's not what offering a discount to your market is for. Offering a discount will make you more money when you already have somebody who already wants your product or service, and using it to get that person off the fence, or initially raising their hand to look at your stuff first before other options in the market, i.e. you offer it to people when they're looking at the available solutions in your market to get their attention first, or when you're trying to get in front of them, when you know they're the right prospect for you, you use it to make sure that they'll go ahead and act on what you just had marketed to them right now, versus later. Procrastination kills all promotions that you're doing. And then furthermore, the people that you've got the attention already, to get them to close into a sale at a higher rate than they would before, because they are procrastinating. So it's just a tool, in other words, to make anything that you're doing now work better, because you're adding a little bit more, you're making what you're offering a little bit more enticing to the market that you know that wants your products or services now than you had before, considerably so. So with that said, if you have tight margins and you have to raise your prices to offer a discount, obviously there's a point in which it's not going to be profitable for you to do that. You're going to make less profit than before. There's a sweet spot in which you can get away raising your prices where that's not going to reduce the amount of people that are willing to buy your product or service, but also still allows you to offer a discount to your prospects that you're trying to sell to right now in your market, and then end up with more profit than you started with at the end of the day. With that, we found through which I've worked in hundreds of different markets at this stage. I've been doing marketing for companies I run, currently run, have ran in the past, and clients that I serve for 20 years now, or almost thereof, and worked in several hundred different markets. And we found as a whole, doing online advertising, that the sweet spot to raise your product or service price in order to be able to have room to offer a discount, like I said, if you need to. Otherwise, if you have good margins, you may not just need to touch your pricing at all, because the pricing you have now might be the proper price for your product or service in your market. But if you need to raise that product or service to offer a discount, you only are going to need to raise it 10 or 20%. If you raise it more, potentially you're going to reduce the amount of people that are interested in paying that much at all at first glance, because the discount doesn't come later, generally speaking, until you've already marketed that product or service towards them. Then you just scare them away right away, which there's other ways that you mention the discount right away to somebody, particularly on like Google search, and that can actually make up for the fact that they're going to see the discount before they see the price, so it's okay. But long story short, if you raise your product by 10 or 20%, generally speaking, in most markets, that's not enough to affect and shock people that you were marketing to before, that you knew were buying, to suddenly not stop, to not want your product or service anymore, because it's not a big enough of an adjustment. And you could take that 10% that you raised your product or service pricing to, and then use it to have a discount as a part of your overall closing strategy with that particular prospect, and end up with more profit than you had before. So as long as you, in other words, don't go over a 20% increase in price, you won't lose people right away in the sales process marketing to that person. And then you could take that 20%, use it as a discount, and then close those sales with those prospects at a much higher rate than you had it before, which then gives you more customers out of the total people you were marketing to originally than you had before, which makes the whole, raising the price so that you can offer the discount worth it to you at the end of the day. You make more money at the end of the day. So, and then, of course, by the way, as far as a general pricing strategy, if you are kind of similar in terms of quality and all that in your market, what I would recommend anyway is just selling what you have for 20% higher than what the rest of the market has anyway, because you're going to seem as the premium option in the market at that point. People judge quality by price to a significant degree. So if you're not doing that now, you should definitely try that and see if you can get away with a higher, if you can maintain the conversion rates you're generating now from the clicks that you're paying for to get to your site, and see if that actually pays off for you. A lot of you guys would be shocked to find out that you can raise your price a little bit like that and get away with it, as long as you're not the big, where you're really close to like where you're going from 2 digits to 3 digits in price, or 3 digits to 4 digits in price, or like, right before you go from like $200 to $300, because those are strong psychological barriers, or triggers for people when they see, oh, it's $299, well, it's $305 now. Well, that seems like a lot more than going from $279 to $289, if you get my point. But it's kind of a separate topic as per what I'm trying to talk to you today about discounting. So if you had to raise your price, by the way, I'm just saying, if you're not in that situation, you probably raise it and see no effect on your conversion rate. Now you're in a position to offer a discount, which is going to get a lot more people who checked out and are now aware of your product or service because you've marketed to them, you got them to your site, now convert into a sale through a follow-up ad you can run and put you in position to get those extra sales. So assuming that whether you have to raise your price first or you don't, or you do raise your price so that you could be in position to offer a discount, what we found is if you can, you want to be in a position to offer a 20% discount, okay, to get more out of the available market share out of your market and the people you're marketing to, and then use that 20% discount you can offer in terms of a flash sale / discount. You will make considerably more money than offering no discount as a part of your selling process with the individual that normally is just trying to find somebody to do business with in your market than having no discount scheme at all. And there's multiple places you can use this discount to be able to make more money from the people that you're already trying to sell to in your market already. Respectively, the first of which is in your search ads. So we had a company that sold sex toys, and right away in the ad, for example, what we would do is we didn't have to raise the price in that particular market, but right away we had in the ad 20% off for July. And you're saying, but that's July, that's not a scalable strategy. Well, no, we automatically had our ads update so that when August hit, our search ads, the ones that they would see on Google search, the text ads, in other words, it's called search ads, they would see 20% off August only, and then September, 20% September only. And so when somebody is Googling for your product or service there, and there's 4 ads there to choose from, okay? And they got to pick one to choose to click on. Your ad that says July only special, 20% off, is going to stand out as the one people want to click on most of the time if you're in most markets. There's certainly some markets where that's not going to be the case. I would say for sure in any luxury market, I wouldn't do that necessarily. And if you're selling non-standard items where you don't really have any competition, I would stay away from it as well because it might cheapen your offer. But in any competitive market where you're kind of like one of many and you're not selling luxury goods, this absolutely generally will double the click-through rate of your ads just by doing this one simple thing. And you could program your ads so that when the next month hits, you can have the sale automatically update and say the name of the month. I highly recommend this strategy to you. You should test it out for yourself and see why and how it will double your click-through rates for your company as well. And then if you double your click-through rates, you're going to pay less per click because that's how Google's quality score system works. So you end up making 3 times as much money from your Google search campaigns by having the ability to offer a 20% discount, either by raising your prices so you have enough margin, or you keep your prices as it is. But even if your margin is tight, generally speaking, just by using that search strategy I just described to you, you'll actually triple the amount of sales you get per dollar of ad spend. So even if you're 50%, even if your margin's half of what it was started out with, offering that 20% discount, you'll still end up making twice as much profit that you had before, because you're tripling the sales at a 50% less margin that you have, profit margin you had before. You're still doubling the amount of profit you're making. So that's one way to use a discount to make more money in your business right away with the same exact traffic and people you're marketing to right now. The other example where you use this kind of a 20% flash discount sale, if you will, is in display advertising, i.e. non-search engine advertising. So any place where you are selling on using YouTube ads, display, Google Display Network, banner ads, Facebook ads, that kind of thing, where you're interrupting people. They're not searching for what you have on Google or on the search engines itself, but everything but that, if you will, which we call in the ad industry display advertising. We had a teeth whitening company, sold teeth whitening products, and we ran YouTube ads for that, people looking for how to whiten my teeth, and then having the ad show up there for the teeth whitening product. And we had a direct video pitch, which if you're trying to do YouTube ads, it's really like Facebook ads 2020, like it was back in 2012, because it's not competitive. People don't know how to make good video ads. But anyway, we had it, saying, are you looking to whiten your teeth? Well, this product is the perfect product for you because blah, 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 blah. That's how you sell on YouTube ads. And with that said, we were doing that without the discount. And then I convinced the client to offer the discount because it was going to make up for the reduction in margin that they're going to receive by having a discount available. And obviously this discount, okay, we're only going to use it on the YouTube ads. We don't have to use it every place else at first. So they got me a discount code and I already knew what the effect of this would be. So, had to speak a little bit more to that client to get them comfortable with it. But at the end of the video ad, we said we offer a 20% off for new customers, but only for July only. Use code July20 to be able to get an extra 20% off your order by the end of the month. That ending offer does what is called, psychologically, it builds urgency in your offer. Because most people, when you advertise to them, particularly non-search engine advertising, you can have a perfect prospect in front of you, but even the most perfect prospect a lot of times will think it's interesting and will think that they can just, whenever they're ready to buy, because they were watching a video on some other documentary, they're not ready to buy right now, you interrupted them, that they could go to Google and just type your brand name and buy when they're ready to buy, after the video, after they get paid, whatever. And just by saying that you're going to get a special reward for doing it now versus later, or you may forget to do this later before the end of the month, so you might as well order it now so you don't forget, you're going to get tons more people to click through your ad right then and there and buy than if you didn't have that so-called urgency builder. So, and in that case, we got about 75% more sales than we had before without having that particular in piece to the video itself. So the margins were pretty good in that, so we were able to not have to adjust the pricing and still offer a 20% discount, and the 75% increase in sales that we got from the same exact video views, we were able to get more profit from it. But that shows you kind of what can be done with a discount as well. And typically we find, like with display ads, just by offering that urgency builder where you say 20% off for this month only on your display ads, you'll get 50 to 100% more sales from that display ad than you would have had without the urgency builder, flash discount, monthly sale at the end of the ad, message or whatnot, end of the video ad or the end of the pitch, if you will, that you're running on Facebook or whatnot. So that's another way you can use discounts and discount strategies to make more money from existing people that you want to sell to. You just slap it on there to your ad, start making more money. With that said, there's another third way here I'm going to talk about that can also make you more money from your ads. You can use the discount itself to as a part of a remarketing or retargeting strategy where once somebody's been to your site they haven't bought yet, or they already seen your video ad, they haven't bought yet, that you can follow up with them to get them to buy. Okay? And what you do with this that we're going to do, especially for e-commerce businesses, most of the time for those businesses, is we're going to have a retargeting ad that says, hey, we're offering a July special, 20% off. Make sure you order by the end of the month. We'll give you an extra 20% off, what have you there. But it's a separate banner ad that shows up for the person after they've been to the site. This also technically works for services, maybe not professional services so much, but even then, if you systematize your service, you should be able to still make this work. We've done similar for services before, like even in accounting services. First month, 20% off as a way to build urgency in our advertising. So, but the main thing what this actually does is some people that I tell this to, or that, where we do it with, they expect that if you're trying to market a pottery wheel to me, and I was in market for a pottery wheel, and I clicked on your ad to go check out your pottery wheels because you got it in front of the right person that's planning a pottery wheel purchase or was thinking about buying one recently, got to your site, I thought your products were pretty cool, wasn't quite ready to buy then specifically, and then you have another banner ad that shows up for me a few days later saying, hey, if you were considering buying from us, here's 20% off, 20% off code, where if you use this code by the end of the month, you're going to get 20% off. I'm going to think that's interesting, but because it's hard to convince somebody that was going to procrastinate their order to later on see a banner ad with that kind of message on it and then inspire me to buy right then and there when I see the banner ad. Some will. Some definitely will, but it's difficult. What that kind of message does, at least for the people who haven't shown the strongest interest, is it'll get more of the people that you paid good money to get to your site in the first place, in which there's only so many people with the traits that make up a good prospect to get your advertising in front of in the first place. It'll get the people that you then paid good money to get to your site in the first place to get that advertising to work better for you. So in other words, people see your discount offer there pop up for them. They see it, they recognize it, it goes into their memory. They don't buy right then. When they get paid a week later, they remember your discount and they go buy. And they're going to buy at a higher rate than if they didn't remember your discount ad showing up for them a week ago. So in other words, you're building a sales funnel. Not enough people think this way or do this, which we're doing it for all of our clients because it matters. You got to have a process, particularly for stuff that's bigger decisions with higher price points, but for that matter, unless it's a $20 broom, this applies. You do everything you can to find the right prospect to see your advertising in the first place. You get them to your site, and then there's a whole nother process that gets them to close and do a sale. You show them your testimonials. You show them your Google reviews score, reviews and average score there. You show them your warranty and so forth. Stuff that they normally need to know or often ask about in the sales process, or gets them in the sales process if you have one, where you're speaking to that consumer directly, gets them to buy. And you cycle through different retargeting ads while they're thinking about it, so to say. And then one of the ads they see is the flash sale where you're offering 20% off for the rest of the month. And because you have that as a part of your follow-up sequence, which you should have other things you're following them up with, the people that were looking for a pottery wheel on Google that we paid to get them to our site, we know are in market for a pottery wheel, will buy after they leave our site at a higher rate, much higher rate, than if they would have never saw that we had a flash sale going on for that month. So they just don't often see your ad right then and there, click through and buy. And so with the conversion tracking that you have, a lot of people will say, well, nobody clicked through the ad and bought right away from it, so therefore it doesn't work. The reality is, it doesn't work that way for most people. If they weren't ready to buy right the first time you got them to your site, the chances are they see your discount ad and ready to buy right then and there is not also high. So you show it to them, and then you know that that's going to make sure the chances that they were going to come back to the site and buy eventually, it's going to raise your chances there. And it gets your overall front-end advertising you use to get them to the site in the first place to pay off at a better, higher rate. And you use it because it costs a penny to have a banner ad show up for somebody that you may pay $2, $3 to get them to the site in the first place, which is why you do it. So what I tell people to do is, instead of tracking how many people click through that banner ad with the discount code on it, you start doing the discount code marketing, look at your sales for the same time of year you have right now, do the discount code remarketing, retargeting ad, and then see how much more sales you're getting on the same exact ad spend than you had before. Just simply reallocate 5% of your advertising money to this retargeting of the discount, and then see how much more that's going to get you out of your advertising spend than if you allocated 100% just to market to new prospects. The reality is there's a thing in the marketing space, it's like a law, where it basically says that you'll make more money advertising to fewer people more times than to advertise to more people, but only once. It's the power of sevens of marketing. If you want to look it up, this has been true for decades. People have knew this in the marketing space, at least. So this just is one relevant way to follow up with the person that's actually going to get them to act out of anything else that you could possibly say there. So you're going to look at your sales before you did it, apply this, look at your sales after, and that's how you tell if it works or not. Specifically, if it's March now, you look at April, May, June sales of last year, do the discount remarketing ad, and then see what your sales are April, May, June this year for that 90-day period, and then compare your 90-day sales versus the same time the last year, see how much it's went up, assuming you had the same ad budget, or just taking into account how your overall ad budget has changed. That's how you tell that what you're doing is going to get the people that you paid good money to get to your site in the first place that were qualified, in which there's only so many qualified people looking for your product or service. And to get that traffic, that there's a limited amount of people that are looking for your product or service on a monthly basis, to pay off at the highest rate you can. So that's one way to also use a discount to make more profit in your business and through your budget you have and so forth. Now, that said, if you got somebody who's already turned into a lead, they filled out a form on your site, they've called already, or they've gotten to the shopping cart of your e-commerce site indicating very, very strong purchase intent, that's the time where if they see a banner ad that says 20% off for the month of July, you'll see enough of those people click through your ad and buy right away that the tracking inside your ad account will show that it's actually getting an ROI, because that person is so close to making a purchase, it's not that hard to get them to see your ad and act on it right away, versus just saw your ad, went to your site, and then just decided not to buy. It takes a lot more to get them to just respond to your ad right away, if that makes sense. So I like to do that one a lot. People spend all kinds of money to get the lead to contact you, but what are you doing to get them to close at a higher rate once they've contacted you, assuming you're selling them services itself? They got in quotes from 5 people. The person who wins it is the person a lot of times who they trust the most, or there's other reasons behind that, or that offers a decent price or a good value. And so if you have a discount ad show up for them that they thought randomly showed up for them, whoa, 20% off for July, good timing. They see it, they end up closing into a sale at 20-30% the rate higher than they would have normally otherwise. And because you don't have to spend much money going after people who turned into a lead in the last month, basically spending almost nothing and getting 20-30% more sales from it, it's worth it every time to do that. Same thing with the people who get to your cart. And in that case, by the way, I call it a cart abandonment campaign. So instead of saying July we're offering a 20% off flash sale, we say, we noticed you've been to the cart and didn't finish your order. Finish your purchase now and we'll give you an additional 10% off your order, but only if you do it right now. And that works like magic. And you don't have to even offer them 20%. You can get them to act at a high rate just by offering them 5% off. I recommend 10 so you get the most out of it, but 20% is certainly not needed, so you don't have to cut your margin all the way there because they're already so close to purchasing anyway. So anyway, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of discounting and using a discounting strategy to increase the amount of money you're making in your business. You can do it on the front end to get more people to click on your ad. You can do it to ads that you're already running, and so that after they see your ad, they're more likely to act on it, if you will, or just go to your website. And then you could do certain things to people after they leave your website to get them to come back and order at a higher rate. And so there's tons of potential here for your business. Enough where, like I said, even if you think you can't afford to reduce your prices at all because your margins are too thin, you raise your prices and you do this stuff anyway, because this stuff has a high psychological impact on the people that you're trying to market to, particularly when nobody else in your space is even doing it. It gets people excited about buying. It gets them excited about acting now versus, I'll do it later, and later never comes. Even people with the best intentions to come back and buy later, they forget, they blow the money on something else. This locks in an order at a sooner, which makes it then the people that would have forgot about it accidentally, there's less of them that actually do that, which ultimately turns into more of the people that you spent money to get to your site in the first place to pay off. And when there's only so many good qualified prospects to market to on a monthly basis in your business, there's only so many people looking for pottery wheels. There's only so many people that have been thinking about buying pottery wheels. Instead of trying to go broader with your advertising, going after people who weren't even thinking about it, but you're going to try to convince them anyway that they need a pottery wheel, just go deeper on the people you already have and get more of them, get a higher percentage of them by using the discount strategy as the carrot or the bait, so to say. And then you'll make more money more predictably that way than going broader at a certain point where going broader means you're marketing to people that are not really looking for your product or service, if you will. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything I covered, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any questions about any advertising related thing that you have, leave me a comment as well. I'd be happy to try to get back to you and put you on the right track if I can. I like to do that for my viewers. If you are looking for the best information you can find online and on YouTube about making money with online advertising, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, or if you're just seeing this video for the first time, because I'm giving you information on this particular channel that we're pulling from the dozens of ad accounts that we're running for clients on an ongoing basis at my agency, and in which I strategize all of our clients' accounts directly on an ongoing basis. So other channels, these people are professional YouTubers who don't do strategy on dozens of clients' ad accounts on an ongoing basis. They run an agency, but they don't do the work, or they manage a couple campaigns. What you're getting here is as good of information straight from the source as you could possibly get, and also from somebody who's got to guarantee results for our clients' campaigns before we get paid. So therefore, if you're serious about making money online using online ads, this is the channel you want to subscribe to. If you like my channel here, you'll also love my blog. If you want to go ahead and check that out on my site at guaranteeppc.com/blog, you'll also see a ton of value from that. Beyond that, if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like. And with that, if you want somebody to just do the stuff I mentioned on today's video, or just to make you some money with your ads, if you think you got something that's, you've got something that you're selling that's really good, but you just need the right advertising for it, reach out to my firm at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to look over your stuff and see if we can work together. I don't work with just any client, but if you got something there, I'll estimate how much sales results we can get for your campaign up front, with me doing the strategy for it and my team and myself helping you execute on that strategy. And we don't charge any fees until you get a certain amount of sales lift from your ads, or from the campaigns that you're running for your business in general, that you would like to start up for your company. And so with that, you don't even have to pay us. It's only what you pay us comes out of the profit you're already making on your campaigns, in addition to what you had already ultimately from your campaign starting out. So it's literally, we're earning our keep for you right up front if we can work with you. So, but if you wanted to see if we can work together, reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. Be happy to look at your stuff. If you don't want an ad agency to take the reins on your campaign and manage it fully, I understand. But if we worked in your industry already, you'd be, you're working harder than you need to, trying to figure out what works for your market and your company, given you could simply use the campaign templates that we know already work in your market, landing page templates and so forth, and we sell those individually to where you can have copy-paste results in your market, that you could take the templates that we know, the ad templates, the landing pages, copy that over to your own account and get predictable results in your company and your market that way. And we can actually tell you what results you can expect from your campaigns up front in that case as well. So there's no surprise about what you're going to get. And for a few K, we charge for all the templates. Once you've paid for that, you've got turnkey results ultimately for your business. So we do that for clients as well. If you're interested to see if we worked in your market and what results we got in your market, reach out to me and I'll be able to tell you that as well. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.